Okay, so what made you want to apply for this job?
Well, I've always had an interest in exercise and fitness my whole life, and it's a huge part of my life. So I take pride in helping other people improve their fitness and exercise and achieve their goals. Yeah.
And what do you think are the most important skills and qualities to have for this role? So just give me examples of maybe 3 qualities.
Well, I think the main one is confidence. I think a lot of people look up to you as a coach. So I think you need to show confidence, because if you're confident, that projects onto the people you're responsible for. The second one, I think, attentiveness. I think when you're demonstrating as a coach, I think you need to be attentive in the amount of detail you give in your demonstrations, as that makes you an effective coach when demonstrating, and makes it easier for them to see what you're doing and carry that action out themselves.
So just by showing them what to do and how to do it.
Effectively, with a lot of detail, yeah.
Yeah, good. What about the last one?
Compartmentalisation. I think that's an underestimated one. I think being able to break things down into smaller sections and categories and acknowledge them and celebrate little victories along the process of, like, losing weight or winning a tournament. For example, taking one game at a time and celebrating each game instead of focusing on winning the whole tournament. Things like that, highlighting key marks of victory along a process. I think that's important as a coach because it improves morale and positivity.
And that's different to just having one big goal in mind at the end of it.
Celebrating and acknowledging small little goals along the process.
Why do you think that helps people?
Because it keeps people engaged in what they're doing. It keeps them engaged and motivated in the process. Yeah.
Good. What skills and qualities do you have that you're going to bring to this role?
I think I am attentive. So in my demonstrations, I try to give as much detail as possible, because I know from experience that when you have a coach who explains things well, you as the practitioner are a lot more engaged and motivated to do what they're asking you to do, and it makes it a lot more clearer. The second one, I think, confidence. Being captain of my team has given me a lot of opportunities to improve my confidence, as you're required to lead. You're required to show confidence as you're the leader of the group, and they expect you to be the most confident one. Playing football at a high level has really taught me that. Third one, leadership skills. Relating back to captain as well, I've learned the thing about leadership I find most important is that you have to be aware of how people learn and how to teach based on that. And I think that's a massive part of being an effective coach, is knowing how people learn and what to teach based on that, because ultimately you'll be able to make it more engaging, the lessons.
Good. What are you looking to achieve from this job?
I hope this job gives me some opportunities to improve my skills, qualities and characteristics required to be an effective coach, and it will give me a taste of what it will be like in the sports industry, so I can use these experiences from this job to develop and improve my coaching ability.
And other than you mentioned the skills and qualities that you've got, what else could you bring to this role? Why would we want to go with you?
Well, I've been exposed to quite a few professional and high quality coaches, and I've learned a lot from them. So I think a lot of their skills and qualities I've really transferred into what I do. So I was saying to you about how I think it's really important that a coach knows how their athletes learn and how to teach based on that. I've been exposed to some really high quality coaches that do that. And if I weren't exposed to them, I don't think that'd be a quality that I have.
So it's the different styles and leadership things that you've seen them
that I've been exposed to, and their qualities, which the leaders had themselves, have transferred into me.
Yeah, very good. You spoke around some of those previous leaders you've worked with. What leaders do you look up to and why? there any examples from your past where you've looked at leaders giving you thought that's
In what sense do you mean, in the sports industry, or
can be either,
like coaches?
Any kind of leader, any leader that you've looked to and admired the way they're doing things?
A big one for me is Winston Churchill. I think he was a brilliant leader in terms of that. He was confident in his own decisions, which resulted in the people that he was responsible for. So like the country and the soldiers, that confidence that Winston Churchill had, that reflected into the country's confidence as well, which I think was a vital factor in us winning the war.
Good example. And what motivates you?
For me, it's about effort. When I put a lot of effort into things, I get a lot of satisfaction. So even though the result might not be the best, as long as I know I've given my best, that's what motivates me, knowing that I've given 100%. And the achievements just come along with that.
What are your hobbies?
I'm really passionate about CrossFit, football, golf, any outdoor activities like skiing, hiking. I'm quite an active person. Yeah.
Plenty of outdoor activities then.
Yes.
How do you deal with pressure or a stressful situation? Give me an example if you can.
In stressful situations, I like to break down the things that you can control and focus on them instead of worrying about things you can't control. So what I do is write down a list of the things I can control and focus about them, and not worry about any of the things you can't control, like external factors.
What about in a situation where you've not got time to write things down, where things happen in the spur of that moment, you're in a stressful, the game's not going the way you want it to, or you're training, something's not going the way you want it to, and you're in that stressful situation?
I think you've just got to do the same, but just without writing it down. You don't have to write it down. That's just when you've got the time to, you can write it down. That's just a way of people. That's just a way of learning, writing it down.
Principle's still the same.
Yeah, principle's still the same. Worry about things you can control. Don't worry about things you can't control.
What type of management style do you prefer?
I like a leader to be inspiring. I like them to meet all the standards that they expect from their peers. So if a coach or a manager, say, expects their athletes to turn up to training in the right gear, looking professional, I'd prefer the manager to do the same, and I think that's a big part in creating a good morale within a group.
So it's somebody who leads by example. They
leads by example. Yeah.
Good, well done. So I'll just give you some feedback on some of the things that I thought you did well on. So I think you gave some very good examples that you elaborated on, giving me some details of that. I thought you were talking relaxed and open and very confident in that you weren't scripted and just going through the motions. Some things that you could have worked on. You used a few of the same examples going through, so I think it would have been good for you to give some different examples.
Yeah.
What else was there? Not really sure what else in terms of the main ones, just around giving a breadth of different answers in there would have been better.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.